Hi everyone, Allison here from the Protocase Designer team. Today I'm going to show you how to align objects in Protocase Designer's face editor. This is a great way to streamline your work and make sure the cutouts and graphics and more that you place on your design are situated exactly as you want them to be. So there are 8 different ways that you can align objects, and I'm going to go over each one. A reminder before we get going, when I say objects, I mean any item that you place in Protocase Designer's face editor. Objects can be cutouts, graphics, fasteners, accessories and components, masking, and constructs. For all of these objects, you can choose to align in a variety of ways. I'm going to start with a panel that has 3 cutouts, one circle shape, one rectangle, and one triangle. You won't see the align buttons unless you have 2 or more objects selected at the same time. You can do that by clicking on Move Item and selecting one object, then clicking on the other objects you want to select while holding down the Shift key. Usually you can also select multiple objects by drawing a box around the objects that you want to select. However, I don't recommend drawing a selection box when using the Align function because the software won't know which object should be selected first. On that note, the Align functions always align objects to the first object that was selected. So you'll want to make sure to carefully select your first object every time. Now, if you really love drawing a selection box to select multiple objects, you'll just need to select the first object, then hold Shift and draw a box around the other objects. This way, they'll align to the first object selected. Now that I have my object selected, the alignment buttons appear in the Properties panel on the right-hand side. The first alignment button lets you align origins of objects vertically. So it's going to take my cutouts and shift them vertically so that the origins of each cutout are aligned on a horizontal line in relation to the first object that I selected. The next button is Align Origins of Objects Horizontally. Once I have my 3 cutouts selected, when I click this button, it will shift all of my cutouts horizontally so that their origins are aligned on a vertical line. The next button is Align Tops of Objects. Clicking this button will move my 3 cutouts so that the topmost point of each cutout will be aligned on a horizontal line. Note with this one, because I selected my circle cutout on the far right-hand side first, it moved the other 2 cutouts to be aligned on a horizontal line with the top of that first cutout. If I select my cutout in the middle first, it's going to move the other 2 cutouts so that their tops are aligned with the middle cutout's topmost point. The next button is Align Left Sides of Objects. This takes my cutouts and aligns their leftmost sides so that they're all aligned on a vertical line. Okay, so we're going to move down another row. The next button is called Align Centers of Objects along a horizontal line. Once this button is selected, my cutouts will shift so that their centers are all aligned horizontally in relation to the first cutout that was selected. The next button is Align Centers of Objects along a vertical line. As the name suggests, it's going to do the opposite. In this case, it will shift the objects so that their centers are aligned on a vertical line in relation to the first cutout that I selected. So remember when we aligned the tops of our cutouts earlier? This button does the opposite. It aligns the bottoms of objects along a horizontal line. Alright, and the final button in the alignment panel is called Align Right Sides of Objects. This shifts your object so that the rightmost side is aligned on a vertical line with the first object that was selected. And this concludes our tutorial on the alignment function within Protocase Designer's face editor. Check out my other tutorial on how to use the distribute function to make sure your objects are spaced out exactly as you require them to be for your design. Thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, please leave a comment below, or you can also email info@protocasedesigner.com. Happy designing!